What's up everyone, Swappy here, and today we're going to talk about which platform is the best to grow on between YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, and TikTok for your short form content. Let us begin. To begin, I had a couple rules that I wanted to follow to make sure I stay consistent across the board for the full 30 days. Now, the rules that I had was I had to post the same content across all three platforms. All of the content itself was vertically oriented to match the platform, especially on mobile devices. And last but not least, I could post more than once a day. Before we dive into the data, there are two metrics that we need to understand that are used to evaluate the performance of videos. The first one is impressions. Now, impressions is whenever the platform serves up your video to where somebody has an opportunity to click on it and view it. Classic example of this is on YouTube, where you're watching a video and then there's the recommended feed, or you do a search on YouTube and you see all the videos that come up from that search term. Every time one of those is fed up, it's called an impression for that video. Now, the second thing is views. Now, views is how many people actually tap into or click onto one of those videos that's been served up, one of those impressions. Now, for YouTube, it's very important to have good titles, catchy titles, have good thumbnails, because that will attract people to actually click through and get you a view. With short form content, it's completely different because most of the consumption happens through the feed. And on the feed, we'll recommend or display a video. And every time you swipe up, you get a new video. And that video is an impression and also a view because now you're watching it. And so they're almost one and the same. And so when we talk about and look at all of these views that we're getting, think about it also as these are all the impressions I'm getting as well. First chart we're going to look at here is the 24-hour views, which means the views in the first 24 hours across all three platforms. Now, the most obvious thing here is this chart's all over the place, which shows that the views aren't very consistent from day to day or video to video. And the other thing is that if you look, you can kind of see that yellow is the highest views overall. Like yellow is usually on top per every day, except for a couple days where YouTube wins out. But overall, TikTok was the winner in the 24-hour views. Next chart we're going to look at is the performance within the first 24 hours versus the first 2 months for each platform. First up is TikTok. And you can see here almost every single day with a few, maybe 5 or 6 days, is there any delta? So really what the views that you get within the first 24 hours is all the views you're going to get. Like there's going to be some ones that trickle in, but for the most part, it's going to be very consistent. Now there's one video that blew up there, maybe two videos that kind of blew up after the first 24-hour period. Moving over to Instagram Reels, you'll see that the 24-hour performance versus 2 months is almost identical. It is crazy how close these metrics are, with one exception, which was a video that had 1,000 views within the first 24 hours and then didn't do anything for like 3 weeks and then blew up. Last up is YouTube Shorts. Now this one's a little bit unique in the sense that there was about 7 days where the 2-month period significantly outperformed the first 24 hours. Now this is misleading in the sense that none of these views really came from a week later, 2 weeks later, 5, 6, 7 weeks later. No, what happened here was that my video was posted and then it didn't actually hit the algorithm for several hours, all the way up to probably 48 hours before it actually started getting views, which meant I had videos that would just sit there with 0 views or maybe a couple views from my subscribers. And so that was a very unique thing with YouTube. None of the other platforms did it this way. Now let's talk about the algorithm a little bit, or the system that evaluates and publishes and pushes the video out to viewers. Now, each platform has an algorithm that is going to take each video that's posted and serve it up to a number of people to watch. We'll call it a pilot. And that pilot is going to basically test and see, is this video worthwhile to get more views? Should it be served to more people in their feed? Now, how this gets evaluated is a bunch of different things. Things that are pretty obvious are watch time. Do users watch the full video? So if it's a 30-second video, do they stop after 3 seconds or do they stop after 30 seconds? Do they rewatch it? Especially with short form content, rewatching the same video over and over again is good. And then also, do they share it? Do they like it? Do they follow or subscribe to the user who made that content? Now, all of those pieces of information, plus probably a bazillion more, go into determining if that video is good to give to more people. So why do some videos get more views than others, especially just as a baseline? Now, I'm not talking about the videos that blow up, because typically good content is going to get more views. But I'm talking about more about, say I have 50 videos and they're all getting about 50 views. And maybe a few get a couple hundred or 1,000 or something like that. Now, you can look at that average. That low average is the number of impressions that are used for the pilot. And depending on the content you make, that pilot size is going to be different. So for instance, for me, I make Fortnite reaction videos. Now, every one of my videos pretty much gets at minimum 200 views. So I can almost consider that the pilot. So if I get 200 views and that's all I get, that means my pilot failed and I didn't get any more views. I didn't get any more impressions. I didn't serve my video up to any more people. Whereas say I was playing Super Animal Royale and I'm averaging 50 views for every one of my videos, but then a couple of them pop off. Now you can look at that. 50 is how many impressions I'm getting for my pilot. Now, every single content type, comedy, dancing, whatever, all have their own kind of baseline for how many views or impressions they're going to give you. And now it's all about what you do with those impressions. And so for me, if I get 200 impressions with my Fortnite videos, and it does well, then I may get 300. If it continues to do well, then I'll get 500, 1,000, 2,000, et cetera, et cetera. And so if you're getting frustrated with the content that you're making, not performing, it's all like at the same value and it's like 200 or 100 views or 50 views or even 20 views. More than likely, the reason being is that that content type or the subject matter, say what video game you're doing videos for, just isn't popular enough to have more impressions. And the reason being, so like with Fortnite, it's still a top 10 game on Twitch every single day. So there's still a lot of people wanting to watch content on that. And so there's so many people watching content. There's a lot of impressions available to use in these pilots. And whereas other types of content may not have as many people that want to watch it. How fast does it hit the algorithm? Now, TikTok and Instagram Reels, basically instantly within the first hour, it's going to hit the algorithm. It's start to get some of those impressions and evaluate, and that can then last for multiple hours depending on how many views you get. Whereas I talked about this a little bit before, YouTube, completely different. You may have to wait a day or two before you get any views. So now to finally answer the question of which platform is the best one to grow on with your short form content. As you can see here, clear as day, TikTok is the king. Now this just goes to show that there is so many more users on TikTok at a bare minimum watching Fortnite content, but really probably all content. It is the king of short form content. And during that 30-day period, I gained 1,346 followers. Whereas you compare that to YouTube at 181 or Instagram Reels at really 25 followers gained. It is crazy that all this content, like how much of a delta there is between the platforms. It's pretty obvious that TikTok is the king of short form content, and it's not even close. However, my recommendation though is not to post just to TikTok. Definitely prioritize TikTok. If you're not using TikTok and you want to grow on social media, use TikTok. It is the easiest to grow on. Having said that though, you should definitely post your content, the same video across all three platforms. And if you wanted to, you can even include Twitter, though it'll perform even worse than Instagram. And the reason why I say across all of them is because you never know what video and what platform is it going to blow up on. You can go look back earlier in the video and you can see that certain videos popped on different platforms than others. There was not very consistency across those. And so it's super important that if you want to get the most bang for your buck, and believe me, there's cost and there's time in recording and editing a video. So you want to get as much out of it as you can, post it to all of them. And if you continue to grow, there will be a time where you may want to specialize your content per platform. Like for instance, TikTok is your main, but then Instagram, because it has other things than just Reels, you just have the main feed. You can do photos and videos there that are kind of behind the scenes or some other aspect of the content that you want to make. And then Twitter is used for your, your quick thoughts and ramblings and stuff like that. And then YouTube Shorts can be just game clips or however you want to. You can specialize the content later on, but at the very beginning, post the same thing everywhere. It's not going to really hurt, and it's only going to really grow all the platforms. Now, they will grow at different rates and different speeds, but that's fine. Just do it. The last thing I want to touch upon is consistency. So I posted videos every single day, and that gave me a lot of growth. Since that experiment, I've been very inconsistent with my content, and my growth basically stopped. I would have maybe a week of videos straight, and then 3 weeks off, and then another week of videos. So the key takeaway here, though, is if you really want to grow on the platforms, doesn't matter regardless of which one it is, post daily. Short form content needs to be daily. It's not like normal YouTube videos where you can probably get away with once a week or every 2 weeks. You need to be posting daily, and even multiple times a day is not bad either. So if you want to grow on platforms, post content daily. All right, we are at the finally at the end of this video. If you are still here, thank you. You are amazing. Let me know that you're still here by posting the word Braveheart down below in the comment section. And I will be super appreciated to know that you watched this whole video. And as always, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. I love it when people thumbs up my videos. It makes me feel special. And last but not least, subscribe if you want to see more content. That's my spiel. Comment, like, subscribe. Thank you very much. Until next time, take care.